I actually think there's a new way that we can treat initiative for monsters that I'm going to try out more, but I wanted to share it here and get your thoughts on it and see if it was something you wanted to try at your table and we see how it goes. And that idea is this concept called slow, medium, and fast initiative. So instead of having monsters roll for initiative, you instead look at the monster and look at the circumstance and decide, do they go slowly, medium, or fast? Are they kind of on the average? Are they slow or are they fast? And I treat this as 10, 15, and 20. So a slow monster would be an initiative of 10. A medium monster would be initiative of 15, and a fast monster would be initiative of 20. And you can decide which initiative they move on. Maybe you want to change that DC a bit. You could go 5, 10, and 15 if you wanted. So, or you could even do 5, 10, 15, and 20, have a very fast. So slow would be DC 5, medium would be DC 10, fast would be DC 15, and very fast would be DC 20. And what it lets you do is it lets you space monsters out in the initiative order. You don't have to roll, and it treats it like a difficulty class. It actually treats it like the characters are doing an ability check rather than rolling initiative. It's like they're beating an initiative. If they're beating a DC, if they beat that DC, they go ahead of it. If they don't beat the DC, they go after it. It actually reminds me a bit of the initiative from Shadow of the Demon Lord. Shadow of the Demon Lord had fast turns and slow turns. They changed this in Shadow of the Weird Wizard. Robert Schwab changed this in Shadow of the Weird Wizard. But it was an interesting idea that essentially, do you want characters to do less stuff quickly or more stuff but take longer? And in this circumstance, you instead have this base DC and it works. I've had a joke for a long time. Not really a joke. I've actually done this, but my players all knew it, that all the monsters always went on DC 12. I just picked DC 12 and that was my default. I would say DC 12 and they would pick it. That works really well. It gives a little bit of an edge to the monsters, right? It makes them a little bit higher. But you could just as easily say DC 10 and it wouldn't be a big deal. And if that's your medium initiative, you say most monsters go on DC 10. Some people go before. But I have a feeling, because a lot of people take dexterity, a lot of people have other kind of bonuses to initiative, that if you make DC 10 the medium, that a lot of people are going to beat it most of the time. That you're going to have players go a lot. 15 feels a little high to me, but you could kind of probably say, if you were doing a harder game, you could have monsters that tend to go ahead a little bit more often by having them go on at 15. I've kind of split the differences to DC 12, but I want to try this one a little bit more of having the slow, medium, fast initiatives. And I don't know if I'm going to do 5, 10, 15, 20. I don't know if I'm going to default to 15. A lot of DCs in D&D 2024 for everything kind of default to 15. So maybe I'll just try 15 and see how it goes and say DC 15 is the medium. And, that means the monsters are going to go in the middle of the pack most of the time, which is really where I want them, right? I typically want some characters to go, then the monsters go, then some characters go. That's sort of the pacing I want. So I'm trying to drop it in the middle, which is why 12 has worked out so well for me. Maybe I'll just stick to 12. I don't know. But I wanted to offer that up because I think it's a really interesting way to kind of think about monsters, look at them and say, this is a zombie. They're slow. They go on 5. Oh, this is like a quickling assassin. They go super fast. They go on 20. And you could just pick that 5, 10, 15, 20, and you pick where they go, kind of defaulting to 10, maybe defaulting to 15. Maybe you pick a number like 12 and decide for yourself. But I wanted to offer that up as a trick because I think it is a really fun way to go. I hope you enjoyed today's show. If you did, the best thing you can do is subscribe to the Sly Flourish newsletter. It is absolutely free to sign up. You get a free adventure generator for signing up, and you get a weekly newsletter that has RPG-related article, plus links to all of the other work that I do all over the web. You can also support me directly through Patreon. Patrons get access to all kinds of tips, tricks, tools, a dedicated podcast, access to our Lazy DM community, all kinds of stuff you get for being a patron of Sly Flourish. And you can pick up any of my books, including Return of the Lazy Dungeon Master, Lazy DM's Companion, Forge of Foes, City of Arches, and more at the Sly Flourish bookstore. Links for all of those are in the show notes. Please check them out. Thank you very much. Have a great day, and get out there and play an RPG.